Namaste and welcome to this edition of The Right Perspective. 4% of the landmass, nearly 20% of the population. We are poised to overtake China to become number one in the population list. Let's not celebrate कि चलो भाई किसी में तो number one हो गए. Let's worry about this, ladies and gentlemen. It's a worrying trend. But the counter to that, at a time when we have brought down our TFR or total fertility ratio from 2.2 to 2%, when the rate of growth of population has slowed down, when we, with all the indicators, look like getting on top of this rate of growth, when we, at a time when we are a food surplus nation, do we really need to worry that our population has swelled to 1.4 billion? Do we need, along with social consciousness, a law which works as a deterrent? There are many who believe the time is right. There are others who believe many states in our country have already achieved control over the rate of growth of population. Whatever law has to be made only on those states which are contributing to this massive growth and have not been able to keep pace with some of the other states. Let's discuss that threadbare with our panelists and, of course, students today who will be asking a lot of questions and we'll try and get the answers. I have Arti Agarwal with me, author and columnist with us. I have Manu Gaur, somebody who has championed the need for population control law and, of course, clear awareness. And he has a very, very radical thought process on it, which all of us need to actually consider. Maulana Masoodul Hasan Kazmi is also there, where there are a lot of people who actually are seeing it from the religious or a community prism. And we try and understand from him, does that actually work or does that imply, and are there concerns which need to be addressed? And Mohit Paul is a lawyer and he has also spoken about it very actively. Mohit, good to have you with us. Now, first up, aap sabse puchta hu, how many of you have, or in your parivar, more than two, as brothers and sisters, siblings? Can you just put your hands up again? Let's do a quick count, that you are either 3 or 4 brothers and sisters, right? More than 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 10, 11. 2-3 हाथ पहले खड़े हुए थे, अब नहीं खड़े हो रहे. हाँ, ऊपर 12 और भी हैं. So some more people are there. But my point is, even in this group, at this time, we have at least 12 out of about 25, 30 or 35 odd students who have more than 2 in their family as siblings, or more than 1 sibling, if I were to put it correctly. So is this hum do hamare do not working, Arti?
Right, so this is such an important question, and I think that India has been trying to bring about this hum do hamare do policy for at least the last 50 years. But there are 2 points to it, and I want to address both of them. So the policy of encouraging a 2-child policy has been in effect since the 50s. It's not something new. But in the 70s, during the emergency, when Mr. Sanjay Gandhi tried to sort of take things to the next level, he imposed forced sterilization where villages were cordoned off and men were literally dragged to get sterilized, and many people died also because of that, because the surgery didn't go right, because healthcare was not that good in India. So because of this sudden coercive measure, that thing completely did not work. It was implemented only for 21 months or something like that, and then it had to be called off. And after that, we did not really have enough schemes, enough ground level work to actually implement the 2-child policy. It's like you either push it to the extreme or you don't do anything at all, which led to extreme population growth in India, to the point where the population density of India is 3 times that of China. And I'm not even talking about US right now, because, since we are in the race with China to become the most populous country in the world, we need to look at everything.
So when you say population density is land to
yes,
people
per
ratio.
square kilometer of land, how many people, or square meter, whichever way you want to see it. So India
we are 3 times that of China.
We are 3 times that of China, because China may be very populous, but it's also extremely huge. It's very big. And there's another way to look at it. Look at it from the Human Development Index point of view, because you can look at GDP, but GDP does not measure everything. It only looks at output. Human Development Index is something which sees how people have, what kind of conditions people are living in. What are your living conditions like? And India has literally been growing by 0.002 every year. And I've just looked at the statistics for some other work, but India is currently at around 0.647 Human Development Index. Previous year, it was 0.645. Whereas China has grown from 0.499 to 0.7 something, 0.76. So you can see that, even individually at a person level, China has grown a lot and India is not growing in the same proportion. And that is because, people think that, if you are big, you have a bigger workforce and then, you can contribute a lot to the economic output. That's the usual argument given. But I want to address this here, that only a very small percentage of the whole population actually contributes to the economy. People under 18, people above 60 do not contribute to the economy. So even kids born today, they will start contributing only after, say, 20 years, right? And that is something we need to consider. And other aspect is how much are they contributing? Because not everybody contributes the same. Whether you're contributing 100 rupees or $10,000 matters, and that requires investment. So, we are stuck in this sort of like a vicious cycle where because we don't have good infrastructure, we don't have good industry, we're not able to attract enough capital investment, we're not able to create enough jobs, we're not able to do enough upskilling. So even the workforce is not a highly skilled workforce, which is why the wages will not increase. As long as the workforce size is much bigger than the number of jobs, the wages are not going to increase. It's basic economics. I'm not talking something very difficult here.
Yeah.
So we're always going to, and unemployment has been increasing. So we'll not be able to address any of these serious problems unless we actually control the population. And for that, I don't think coercive measures are going to work, but we do need very serious incentives. And more than that, we need ground level awareness. We need ground level implementation, because the policies can be passed and then everybody becomes happy that, oh, this law has been passed.
So you're saying don't look at it as deterrents or coercive measures, look at it as incentives. So I'll give you an incentive to have a smaller family.
Right.
And I'll also incentivize you if you spread awareness and go on ground and spread ground level awareness. This Hum Do Hamare Do you mentioned before I go to Manu Gaurji, let's just do a small test. 1950s में हम दो हमारे दो स्टार्ट हो, आपको सबको पता है व्हाट इज हम दो हमारे दो? इट्स अ कॉइनेज व्हिच सेड कि फैमिली में मियां बीवी दो बच्चे, करेक्ट? एनी गेसेस, जस्ट मेक अ रैंडम गेस, फ्रॉम द 50s till today, हाउ मच मनी वुड वी हैव स्पेंट, taxpayers money would we have spent under this program of trying to create social awareness with हम दो हमारे दो? गेस, कोई भी फिगर जो मन में है फिगर बताओ, कोई हाथ उठाओ, एनीबॉडी, एनी गेसेस, कितना खर्चा किया होगा? 20,000 crores, 50,000 crores, 70,000 crores, 100,000 crores, 200,000, कितना किया होगा बताओ? 2 trillion rupees, 2 trillion rupees, 2 trillion rupees खर्चा किया है. Any guesses? From 50s till date, how much money have we spent? Any guesses? Any wild guess कि social program ना, not coercion, awareness create करने के लिए 1950s से लेकर 2022 तक हमने कितना खर्चा किया है? Let's go and ask him. मनु जी.
आनंद जी, 1950 से तो नहीं कह सकते. इंडिया पहला कंट्री था वर्ल्ड में जिसने 1952 में अपना पहला ऑफिशियल फैमिली प्लानिंग प्रोग्राम लॉन्च करा. दुख की बात है, आज हम दुनिया के सबसे पॉपुलस कंट्री है. जिस देश ने सबसे पहले चिंता करी और वो उस चिंता को, उस पर कोई काम नहीं कर पाया. 1974 से जब इमरजेंसी लगी और जब हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में अमेंडमेंट करा और फैमिली प्लानिंग हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का पार्ट बना, तब से लेकर आज तक 3 लाख करोड़ रुपए खर्च करे जा चुके हैं.
3 लाख करोड़ रुपए.
और 3 लाख करोड़ का अगर आप रियल टाइम वैल्यू देखेंगे तो वो रियल टाइम वैल्यू आज के समय में लगभग 30 लाख करोड़ से भी ज्यादा है.
30 lakh crore ratio to value, because 1 rupee in the 70s is equivalent to a different amount today, ना? करेक्ट. तो वो उन्होंने ये किया है, 70 से लेकर आज तक 3 लाख करोड़ रुपया दिख रहा है, लेकिन इसका एक्चुअल वैल्यूएशन अगर आप देखें, इट अमाउंट्स टू 30 lakh crores.